Tuli Switzerland koti Yensi Yona Icc Geneva 7 ebikolobero byazzakola ku bannayuganda omusango Kyagulanyi gwe yateeka mu koti eno kati nno gujabagidde buli gyalowooza byamannyo wenu ngalowooza omusango gwakomaawo olowooza twali kigenda mu maaso ng'akuba obulati kakati nno Kyagulanyi amulazeeko ku maanyi kyeki njala tusooka tulabe akatambi kano okase nno Kyagulanyi Sentamu Robert Bobi Wine ate mulalamu.
Chambers and military courts. Today we've got the team leader and the teams from Switzerland and the European branch. The people you see here are from different walks of Nup chapters. You probably see a guy in a black jacket. That's the boss for European chapter, Nup chapter Europe, and he heads the team. And the popular face you see there is from UK. Without mentioning names, he is visiting to join hands with the team in Europe so that they demonstrate against the evils of the dictator in Uganda. Now, the guy you see in the cap there is also from Europe on the continent. As a Nup Europe chapter, he's got involved to see that they deliver the message that there is no room for a dictator who has tortured Uganda. And as the placards read, and the ones down which are being prepared, they all call for freeing the political prisoners. They stop the death chambers, the torture, the threat to our president's life recently, and the abductions, and the constant military courts, kangaroo courts in Uganda. The team in Europe have a big placard here and a banner. What you see is the famous 18 missing people, and emphasis today will be mainly on the famous 18 people, the faces you see there on the camera. Please, you follow this. We ask you, everybody, to be with us in this demonstration. We are going to be here for just under an hour. Then we move to the UN, where we will deliver the same message. The message is clear here. Stop imprisoning our people in different detention places. Stop taking them to military courts. Stop torturing them. Stop killing opposition leaders. Stop all that is happening to Nup supporters. I can't call them sympathizers. So the demonstration is headed headed to deliver that message. Currently, we have Achileo Chivumbi, the one you see in the photograph here on the big banner, who is currently in prison and facing all sorts of torture in the military detention. So, sorry, I've caught the team when they're doing the preparations, but still I'll home into the Leo Kivumbi photograph. That's the guy who is in jail and being tortured by the junta regime in Uganda. Hopefully, as we know, we will achieve what we'll achieve, and we've done a lot. We've come this far. We are not turning the clock. We will continue to oppose Museveni and his henchmen, and we'll take down the regime. We are Nup. We are not asking for funds. We ask one thing: stop funding the dictator. The placards here you see, and the posters and the banners clearly show we are the Nup chapter, and we want the 18 Ugandans who are being tortured, and the torture is because of your funding. If you stop the funding, these people wouldn't be in power. We can take them on. Stop the torture. Stop the murderous regime. Stop funding them. Stop. You fund our torture. You fund our murder. You fund everything that goes on in Uganda. If you stop that, I take you round. These are the photographs. If you see, there's John Bosco Chibarama. There's Joseph Baguma. There's Damulira John. There's Hassan Mubiru. There's Moses Mbabazi. Peter Kilia. Yuda Sempija. Vincent Nalumoso. And Isma Sesazi. all these people, we want a closure. We want to get answers from the junta. We want to know where they are being detained. We want to see where they are being held. We want them out. We want their freedom. We want their freedom. And we want them out. The junta is held responsible for their lives. Now, can we look close into, that's Achileo Chivumbi. He's held in custody, and the only time we got to see him was in military custody when he was produced in the military court, kangaroo courts. This is totally unacceptable, to take civilians into military courts. And military courts are not meant to try civilians. We will not accept this. We will not go with the military courts. Those are kangaroo courts. Again, the emphasis here is free all the political prisoners. We want them out of jail. We want them out of cells. We want them in civilian courts. Achileo Chivumbi should be freed. Bobi Young should be out of prison. And many others held in Comicado who are under torture within this regime. Please, if you listen to this, please follow it up, because we as Nup Chapter Europe, Nup Chapter UK, we will see and fight to the last to see that the junta is held responsible for the crimes he's committed to Ugandans for the last 40 years. And Ugandan freedom is not bought. We are entitled to our freedom. And that freedom is what we're asking for. Freedom is not bargained for. Anita Monji must resign. She's made a parliament her home. She is so corrupt, at nearly £3 billion every week. She's an expensive person to maintain. She is so expensive. She has swindled, so corrupt, and misused the Uganda government money. And moreover, she misuses the taxpayers' money from Europe. Europe is funding these regimes and keeps them funded and oiled. This is not what we want. We want the money to go to the very needy. We want the money to help the people who are most disadvantaged. We want good schools. We want good hospitals. We are not asking for so much. We are asking for basic infrastructure. The team here you see is the Nup Chapter UK, Nup Chapter Europe, and the people from Nup Chapter Europe, and the head of the Nup Chapter Europe, who are standing here at the Ugandan embassy to convey a message to the junta. We are not going to back down. We are not going to stop. We are not going to stop at nothing but change the regime, which we should change.
Yeah, so, hey, our viewers, the name's Robert. I'm heading the European diaspora team. We're convening in Geneva together with my team. From Austria, we have Majune, General Marie Mumbay, and then Kato is coming from the UK. And we're here yet again for another demonstration to condemn the continued human rights violations by the General Museveni's government. So this is an awareness to our international development partners that given the fact that Uganda is a signatory to the international human rights, then it's safe to say that they should abide by the international human rights regulations. Unfortunately, we've seen that the regime over time has escalated to violate, torture, and abduct, or illegally arrest civilians, which has gone out of hand. So we are yet again to call our international development partners that they stop legitimize the brutal nature the regime is melting on the civilian life back home in Uganda. As my colleague was initially in our intro introducing to you, we have a very packed one-day demonstration in Geneva. We started off at the Ugandan embassy, which is behind us here, or in front of us here. We'll then move on to the United Nations, where we are going to do a more elaborate and detailed demonstration. So the program is going to be as follows. We've kicked off from here. After here, we're going to be moving to the UN grounds. We'll start, especially at the UN grounds, with commemorating our fallen soldiers. With me here, we have a roll-up where we have all these foreign soldiers. First off, we start with Yasin Kawuma. Everyone knows him as our president's driver. He met his fateful day in Arua so many years ago. It was short date, and we believe he was not the target, but President Bobi Wine was the target. Unfortunately, this gentleman passed away during that act of impunity by the General Museveni's government. Then we have Rita Nabu Kenya. She was run over by a police vehicle. No evidence was presented as to why they did run over her. Then we have Dan Cheyune. All these are foreign soldiers for the National Unity Platform, the leading opposition party in Uganda. Frank Senteza was also run over by a police convoy. We have Kalinda or Ziggy Wine. He also perished on a fateful day when he was run over. We have Mumbuke Sharon. We have some other people who have been brutalized. This gentleman is Samakambo. In there was brutally tortured by the police forces on one fateful day. We have Shakira Serubogo. He was a LC5 member in Mukono. He was, as everyone recalls, hanged over night and on that fateful day. Then we have this gentleman, Mando, Zebra Mando. He used to be a close friend to our president. He was assassinated brutally by the SFC people who invaded his home state. Then we have a number of people here, some of which the names are not coming out right. We have Kayondo Willie, we have Alachie Chelisa, Kenneth Senyonga Muhammad, and a lot of other people. This is just a drop in the ocean. There's a fraction of the people who have been tortured and murdered intentionally by the state. So this is yet again comes to our attention as diasporans. We really need to call out the government to stop this impunity. And moving on, besides the foreign soldiers, the next program, at least in the UN grounds, we're going to be looking at the people who were abducted, arrested pre-2021 general elections. The 18 about these people at the UN ground. Yeah. So we'll be talking about these gentlemen who were abducted pre, during, and post general elections in 2021. These people are still missing. Their loved ones are still missing. The government has not audited them or accounted for their whereabouts. We're going to be talking about this during the course of this day, because here we have a brief time slot, given the fact that it's an embassy area, but we're doing the best we can, that we can at least do something. I know I believe they're looking at us and they're seeing what is going on over here, even if they're in the buildings. That's fair enough. And this sign says, okay, stop, 7 stop, arming, Museveni, the message is that Museveni is arming and financing M23 in DRS Congo, which escalates into refugees which end up in Uganda. You have to stop the construction of prisons, build schools, roads and hospitals. That's the message. We need Europe, UK and America to stop military training to the General Museveni's, I think someone rightly put it, thugs. These are people who are attacking and harming and torturing innocent civilians in Uganda. Then you have Museveni and Mohoz stop sodomizing Ugandans. In the recent events coming out of the Stop Corruption campaign, which you've seen by the Gen Zs, if I have to use that one, of Uganda, they arrested a few teenagers, they jailed them, and it came out that most of these kids, men and women, were sodomized. This is unprecedented. It's never happened in Uganda before. It's happening under General Museveni's rule, which is preposterous. So we need, and again, we need to emphasize that General Museveni, given the timeline since 2021 and now, I think it is time to free all the political prisoners. You have failed to charge them. You failed them to get them convicted, yet you're still holding them hostage and in your prisons. Not actually in prisons, in military courts. I think I may be corrected, but I mean, it's not according to our constitution that one needs to be tried in military courts. So I think what is going on, the recent incident of coercing people you've held for 4 years, is really very unconventional. It's something which is not done before, but it's going on, and I don't think that is going to pay off, especially if you're using your agents to come and coerce the prisoners you've held for 4 years. So come clean if you don't have any charges against you, any evidence charging the prisoners. It's about time to release them. So release the political prisoners or charge them, or otherwise stop this impunity of coercing and trying to bribe them off. We've had evidence, we have evidence where you are coercing and trying to bribe off the families of the prisoners. That's not the way you deal with people you've held for 4 years without any conviction. So besides the 18 foreigners, we're going to go over Achileo. Achileo, if you can come over here. Achileo is one of the security guards of the president. Now, what is despicable about the arrest of Achileo is that we are seeing a pattern. What is the pattern I'm talking about? I'm talking about a pattern of General Museveni arresting the security team of Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, the president-elect from 2021 age. He started off by arresting Eddie Mutwe, who is the head of the the security team of Bobi Wine, as is famously known as worldwide as an artist. Now, the second one, which was came victim to the impunity of General Museveni, was Jamshid Kauma. Then he followed up by arresting Motive Kasaja. Then it came a time when he arrested Gaddafi, another security team. And of recent, he ended up with Achileo. So I think you can see the pattern. He wouldn't go for the whole team at a go, but he picks one to deceive and the general public that this is an isolated instances. But what is crazy enough, that is implicating them by planting military products or materials to them. Let's not be deceived as an international community. We all know that we are living, or General Museveni is a military dictator. He has the most financed and well-equipped and probably professionalized, as he normally calls it, military and police corps. Yeah, so it's inconceivable and it's unbelievable that he could come out, that a normal civilian who has never gone for military training at some point broke into the military stores of NRM or NRA, because for me, or for the general public who know General Museveni, we're not facing a military professional group. We're facing an impunitive, call it a terrorist team of men camouflaging to be the Ugandan military corps. So there's no way you can tell me that they found stuff in one of the security teams' possession, home or wherever. How do these people get access to this? These are highly guarded products. So let's General Museveni not fool the world. We know you have a military and you have a very tight security and highly paid and financed military intelligence. There is no one that can come to the military store. So stop with the foolery. Stop with the impunity. We want you to come clean, release all the political prisoners, release all the 18 abducted people from the 2021 general elections. So that's where we are. We're still demanding. We will not give way until our brothers and sisters who have families, who have kids, who are still hoping that their loved ones will be released or will be brought to will be served. So I think that's where we are. Kato, would you like to say something? If I'm say, give me a second.
Yes. Banange, sorry, I was trying to talk to Uganda, but we are in Switzerland here. Yeah.
Not London.
Comrades from Uganda and the whole world, we are here today. And the theme of today, we are at the Uganda High Commission in Switzerland, Geneva. And the reason why we come here is to expose the brutal dictator Museveni of Uganda, who has abused all the human rights in the world. We are here today to talk about our 18 missing brothers and sisters of ours who were brutally kidnapped by the brutal regime of the dictator Museveni of Uganda. We are here to say that we'll never forgive them. We'll never forgive Museveni. and we'll never forget our people. That's the reason why we are coming here today. I came from England to come and join the team here to make sure that the sound, our noise, our suffering goes together with the families of the 18 missing families who are waiting, who have waited for such a very long time, and there is no proof that the 18 missing are still alive. We send a clear message to Museveni that we need our brothers and sisters back. You have accepted that you have them in your custody, and it's time for them either to be taken to court or to be released and come back home. We are here to expose the human rights abuse which are happening in Uganda on a daily basis. We are talking about rape, kidnapping, murder, torture, sodomizing of Ugandans. Will not stop until Museveni has been removed from power. Will not stop until Museveni's thuggery stops on Ugandans. We are here to make the point clear that as long as the brutal dictator is still kidnapping our brothers and sisters, we are going to expose him more. We are calling on the international community to stand with the 45 suffering million Ugandans in condemning the human rights abuses in Uganda, in condemning what is going up in Uganda, and they are keeping quiet. We are here to expose the impunity under this brutal regime of dictator Museveni of Uganda, a dictator who has expired, a dictator of yesterday, a dictator who lives on corruption, a dictator who has not served the Ugandans for the last 40 years. That's why we are standing here. We know the time here at the Uganda High Commission is not a long time which we are given, but from here we'll be going to the UN headquarters where we are going to expose him more. We have a lot to say. It can take us a week to talk about Museveni's atrocities to Ugandans, but we are here for an hour and a half, and we have to make sure that we expose him, we tell the truth, because Museveni has been sanitizing all the crimes, all the murders he has committed in 40 years. 40 years is more than enough. We are talking about the supporters of this brutal regime, Maria Barakaso, that evil woman. She has been sanitizing the crimes committed by the brutal dictator Museveni. She has been sanitizing the murderous regime in Uganda. She has been sanitizing the sodomizing, the raping of Ugandans under this brutal dictator Museveni of Uganda. We are here. We will never leave our missing 18 Ugandans. You can look, Olivia Lutaya, she has been in prison for more than 4 years just for standing up against the brutal dictator Museveni. You've got Yasin Kauma. He was murdered just because he was a driver to our elected president, Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu. You see, we've got a lot of our missing brothers. Kazibwe, they've been missing for a very long time. You've got Damulira Christopher. He has been missing for the last 4 years. Bosco John Kibalama,
yes,
he has been missing for the last 4 years. And Museveni accepted that one of the prime ministers, the prime minister of the dictator Museveni, accepted that they have him in custody. But for the last 4 years, John Bosco Kibalama is still missing. We know very well that all these, our people have been murdered, but Museveni is trying to bribe the families in giving up the search for their loved ones. But as long as we are still alive and the brutal dictator is still in power, we'll never give up on our brothers and sisters who are missing, on our brothers and sisters who are in prison just for fighting for change in Uganda. Change in Uganda is overdue under this brutal dictator. We want Museveni out of power. This man has committed crimes against humanity, and the only way we can give Ugandans is Museveni being taken to the International Criminal Court with his son Muhoozi. Thank you very much for listening. People power, our power, NUP, everywhere. From here, it's a 5 minutes walk, and we are going to the United Nations, where we are going to blaze, expose Museveni, Mariam Barakaso, and the so-called Madam Ungadia, who is sanitizing the crimes in Uganda. Thank you for listening.
7 months go. 7 months go. 7 months go.
Must go, Museveni. I can't say anything more than what they have said already. This is the European team, the UK team, the team from Austria, the team from Switzerland. I go into battle. Now, we are not going to miss our words. We've got 18 people who have to be accounted for. The people you see here are 18. They've been missing that long. The best intervention for you as European countries is to stop funding this dictator. The more you fund for the missing 18. And we are here not to joke. The lady you see there in the embassy, the Maria Balakaso, she's behind this. She's behind this evil. She's made sure these people are nailed. She has forged shadow refugees, over 4 million, that earns Museveni and her crony, Maria Blackso, over $5 million. She's concocted up the figures of refugees, and these people, the 18 missing, are missing because Maria Blackso and Museveni are intertwined together. They commit the crime in synchro. We are not asking for too much. Canada has done it. You can do it. This lady, Maria Blackso, has committed so much crime since their unholy marriage in 1982 with Maria Blackso, married to Bata. They have committed all crimes. The best crimes they have committed is swindling money, corruption. Maria Blackso seated there, the ambassador here, she is behind the torture and maiming and killing and murdering in cold blood most of the Ugandans. We are not asking for any better intervention than stop funding. We can take this Museveni and Maria Blackso down to the drain. We are wanting one intervention. Stop funding. Stop working with him. The rest, leave it to us. As Nup, we can take on Museveni with his team. Maria Blackso has hands, has blood on her hands. She's committed crime because she works in synchro with the junta who kills and murders people. When Museveni kills, she does the mopping up. She mops up, and she is behind the mopping up exercise. She cleans up. She fine-tunes. She does the dishwashing and cleans up the blood. She has blood on her hand. Maria Blackso has committed lots of crimes. You think it's indirect, but it's directly committing crime to Ugandans. We want this to stop. But the best way is cut ties. Canada has done it. Dubai has done it. Other places have done it. You can do the same. So we are not asking for so much. We are asking, do things that are doable. These are plausible. These can be done. Oh, sorry, sir. Yeah, we. So, we are not asking for so much. We want to stop Museveni murder. How? Stop funding crime. Stop financing. Kick out Maria Blackso. Other embassies have done it. In Canada, they have done it. In Dubai, they have done it. You can do it. Maria Blackso, our ambassador, seated up there, the Ugandan ambassador. She's behind the crimes. She's behind the murder. She's behind the crimes that we are going through. She's behind the kidnaps. She's behind the killings. She's behind the imprisonment. She's behind all these people in the torture chambers. We are not asking for so much. Stop working with a dictator. You are wasting taxpayers' money from Europe. That's a total waste going to drain because the money swindles back to Maria Barakso, Museveni's H girl. She is a murderer. She has blood on her hands. We can't accept this. Please stop financing and working and cooperating with the ambassador here. She's called Maria Barakso. She has blood on her hand. We call her the Black Widow because she's seen so many deaths. For 40 years, she's worked tirelessly with Museveni, mopping up crimes. We tried so many times to bring crimes to International Court of Justice. She does the mopping up. She makes sure these crimes don't go to justice. We will make sure these crimes have to go to courts of law. And that's why we are here, to pass the message. The mopping up girl who has stopped much of the crimes getting into the International Court. Stop her crime. The crime she does is stopping crimes, people getting justice. The big 18 here you see, they have never got the justice. And you can do it. Canada has done it, Dubai has done it.
Our power. People power. Everywhere.
NUP.
Free Olivia. Museveni free Olivia.
Museveni free Olivia.
Free Achileo Chivumbi.
Free Achileo Kivumbi.
Free all political prisoners.
Free all political prisoners.
Stop the abduction.
Stop the abductions.
Stop the illegal arrests.
Stop the illegal arrests.
Free Olivia Lutaya.
Free Olivia Lutaya.
Free Achileo Chivumbi.
Free Achileo Kivumbi.
Free all the political prisoners.
Free all the political prisoners.
Stop the illegal arrests.
Stop the illegal arrests.
Stop the illegal arrests.
Stop the illegal arrests.
Stop the torture.
Stop the torture.
Stop the kidnaps.
Stop the kidnaps.
Stop the sodomizing.
Stop sodomizing.
Stop sodomizing our girls and boys.
Stop sodomizing our boys and girls.
Stop abductions.
Stop abduction.
Free all the political prisoners.
Free all the political
Free
prisoners.
all the political prisoners.
Free all the political prisoners.
Stop the abductions.
Stop the abductions.
Free Olivia Lutaya.
Free Olivia Lutaya.
Free Olivia Lutaya.
Free Olivia Lutaya.
Free Achileo Chivumbi.
Free Achileo Kivumbi.
Stop the illegal arrests.
Stop the illegal arrests.
Free the prisoners.
Free the prisoners.
Charge the prisoners or release the prisoners.
Charge the prisoners or free them.
Charge the prisoners or free the prisoners.
Charge the prisoners or free the prisoners. Our power. People power. This one is, let me make it clear for those who doesn't know Madam Barak Miriam So. The way how they met up between her and the brutal dictator. In 1982, when Museveni fled Uganda, he went to Kenya, and this woman, she was working for the United Nations Refugees Office in Nairobi, and she was the protection officer. She gave Museveni and his family to resettle in Sweden. Now, after Museveni having won the rebel war, which killed almost 1 million Ugandans for his own benefit, for him to reward Madame Beyakase, they decided a plan. Which is the plan? I'll be going to Congo and Rwanda, create a scenario that there is M23 fighting, and then the refugees are coming to Uganda. Those refugees, the company, the organization which is feeding those refugees in Uganda, is owned by Madame Beyakase, the so-called ambassador of Uganda to Switzerland. Now another corner is here. If there are 10,000 refugees who are running from Congo to Uganda. They'll duplicate the number to 100,000. And this is all the benefit of Madame Barakso. So Madame Barakso, she is one of the architectures of supporting the brutal rebel M23 in Congo because it benefits them. It's their business. That's why they earn their living. Madame Barakso, she's a millionaire in Switzerland here. She's a millionaire, and all this money is coming through the suffering of Ugandans, the Congolese, the Rwandese, and the Sudanese refugees in Uganda. People power, our power, NUP, everywhere. You can see people supporting us. They are here for the cause of Ugandans. That enough is enough under this brutal dictator Museveni. Museveni must go. Museveni must go. Anita must resign. Anita must resign. Thank you for listening. We are going to the United Nations, where we are going to use all our speakers, our mega and our president. We want our president to be safe. We want to condemn. They are attempt killing, not even assassination. The killing. I know it's an assassination, but the intention was to kill him. And that's why we are condemning. That will not relent until the brutal dictator Museveni is out of power. Thank you.
All comrades, online viewers, I think we're doing a wrap here. We're moving on to the UN grounds, where we're going to have a lot of flexibility, have an extensive, elaborate program, whereby we're going to be commemorating our foreign soldiers, whereby we're going to be looking at the missing 18. We're going to talk about the what was the 47 court-martialed Nup persons. We're going to be talking about Achileo again, the circumstances about his arrest, which was brutal, which ended up him court-martialed, and then to the climax of the whole event will be the attempted assassinations to President-elect Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu. So that's going to be a very entertaining. We're going to be entertaining a lot of people from Switzerland who are going to be visiting. We're going to have some really entertainment stuff there. So those who are in Switzerland, somewhere in the neighborhood of Geneva, join us at the UN grounds. We'll be delighted to see you there. Yes. And so that's a wrap. And if you're following us, still follow us from JB Mwange as we head to the UN grounds. Thanks. Over to you.
Yes, just to introduce you, our comrade Nico has just arrived from the Netherlands. So he is also coming with new materials and the exposure of this bloody dictator Museveni. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Have the mic, I'll have this. Yeah, but
can I use my megaphone?
He's here. No. You can't use the mega here. Huh? No, they don't allow here. Okay. You're live here. Yeah.
Yeah, but I also want to record something.
Okay. Someone can do the recording.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Here's 5 minutes. So we have 5 minutes wrap.
Yes.
Yeah.
Comrades, I have just arrived at the Ugandan embassy of Geneva. Here is the Ugandan embassy. And we have here
the reason why they are criminals. This book, it documents 3,000 people that have been tortured, abducted, raped, or just disappeared because of the illegal regime of Yoweri Museveni. And I thank all these comrades that came all the way from all parts of Europe, from UK, from Sweden, from around, from Austria, and me, myself, I'm from Netherlands. Thank you so much. So, I want to ask the people here in this building, I want them to receive a copy of this book. Comrades, anything else you want me to add?
No, that's enough. You can talk to the police and they can escort you to deliver it.
Yeah.
Okay, that was Nico, and he's just delivering a book, and then next move we are going to the UN. That's where we continue with the demo. So thank you for listening, and it's good being numbers. Thank you again, and thank you very much. Thank you. We are back in another hour or so after now. Next 2 hours. No, okay. Thank you very much. Bye.
Tweyanziza abaganda baffe omulimu ogwo gumukoze mulimu gwa ddala gwa ttendo era nga tulina kubanga tukwasaganyiza wamu bino ebintu tulina bikola wamu paka tunavunza General 7 buli mawanga oba buli gyabadde ye ayina akabega tulina okuvunza, tulina okutema enteega, tulina okumutema okulaba nga adda kumutendera ogw'okwagala ensi ye kubanga abadde beewanisa amawanga g'ebweru ago ensimbi zabadde babawa obuyambi babadde babawa buli munga bekitiza kwabo babawa emundu babawa tia gasi babawa gamotoka agalwanyi ne badda ku bannayuganda ne batulugunya ne badda ku bannayuganda bakolako ebikolwa bakolako effujjo naye bwe tubanga tuli wamu ne tukalira ne tubanga tunatukuta olugendo lumu General 7 abatalina kyatugamba tuba tujja kumutuusa naffe twetaaga kakati buno obujuzi tunobutwala kooti y'ensi yonna n'emanya n'ensi yonna n'emanya ICC n'emanya ebikolwa Uganda guno omusango Kyagulanyi gwe yateekayo tulina okugubeerako nnyonnyo nga twongera okulaga obujulizi obwo ICC emanye nti ddala ebintu bye twawaayo ddala bituufu bya ddala era esobola okuba nga eyongera okugenda mu maaso nga enyiga General 7 paka lwe tunaamutuusa lwe tusinga okwetaaga tufune eggwanga lyaffe wamagwe nga litunyumira ate nga lituzimbira wamu nga tujjamu abo abatemu abakozi b'ebikolobero tusigaze abakulembeze abafaayo eri abantu baabwe banakulembeze ataffe eri bantu baabwe tube nga tubajja ate mu game tusigaze abakulembeze abagala eggwanga Uganda so saabalinyaga obunyazi saabatta abantu baffe otubezanga mu maziga aga buli kadde omukama abankuumire tujja kuba tuddamu banange mweraba.